Hello and welcome to Jobs and Education. Do subscribe and share my videos. This is your Mahesh Dole. This is the 7th module of thermodynamics for ESET examination in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh states. Let's get started. First question reads, in presence of which gas is the fuel burned to generate energy in form of heat? In the presence of which gas is the fuel burned to generate energy in form of heat? This is very basic question because it's a general topic for every human being. Let's see, oxygen is the gas which is used to burn the fuel and generate energy. This we know that without oxygen no fuel can burn. Let's see the definition of fuel. The fuel is burnt in presence of oxygen to generate energy in form of heat. So this heat energy can be used for electrical power generation in a steam power plant and for propelling ships, automobiles and locomotives, etc. Let's move on to the second question. Which are the main constituents of fuel from given options? So what is the composition of a fuel? Let's see, carbon and hydrogen are main constituents of a fuel. So these we can call it as hydrocarbons also. Constituents of a fuel, carbon and hydrogen are the main constituents of fuel. In addition to these, fuel also contains sulfur, oxygen and nitrogen, and sometimes we can see ash also. So the percentage of carbon ranges from 50 to 95 percentage, hydrogen 6 percentage, oxygen 2 to 4 percentage, sulfur 0.5 to 3 percentage, and nitrogen 5 to 7 percentage. A note, a solid fuel may also contain 2 to 30% of ash. Next question reads, which fuel is used widely in steam power plants? Steam power plants, coal is used to burn and heat the water to convert that water into steam. So coal is the widely used fuel in steam power plants. Next question reads, what is phenomenon of formation of coal called? So the coal producing or coal formation process is there. That phenomenon is called as metamorphism. Next question reads, on what basis is the coal classified? So coal is classified into different names. Generally physical and chemical composition is required to classify the coals. Physical and chemical composition. Next question reads, fuels are classified as primary and secondary fuel based on the. So fuels are classified into primary and secondary based on their occurrence. Fuel types. A primary fuel is available in nature. Example, wood, peat, lignite, natural gas, petroleum. And a primary fuel is also called as a natural fuel. So a secondary fuel is not available in nature, but it is prepared from primary fuel by artificial means. Look at this. So fuels are two types. One is primary and second one is secondary. So primary means natural fuels. Secondary means artificial fuels. So artificial means examples, gasoline, diesel, coke gas, blast furnace gas, kerosene. These all are produced from the natural gases or natural fuels. Next question reads, which fuel is the final stage in formation of coal? There is a step-by-step procedure and stages are there to form the coal. So which is the final stage of formation of coal? That is anthracite coal. We can call it as a purest form of coal. Let's see, these are the stages of coal formation: peat, lignite, brown coal, bituminous coal, anthracite coal. So anthracite is the best grade coal. Next question reads, which form of fuel is used as domestic form of fuel? Domestic form of fuel. Let's see the options: wood, bituminous coal, dung cake, anthracite coal. So domestic type of fuel is wood. Generally everywhere we can see with the help of wood we can get some fire. Next question reads, the amount of heat liberated by complete combustion of unit quantity of fuel is known as. The amount of heat liberated by complete combustion of unit quantity of fuel is known as. That is a calorific value. Simply we can say that heat value which the fuel can produce. Next question reads, what is the significance of calorific value? So what is the need of calorific value? So this helps in deciding which fuel is good. So we have so many fuels, right? So by knowing their calorific value, we can understand which is the good fuel, which is going to give good efficiency or more efficiency. Next question reads, which gas has the highest calorific value among given options? Highest calorific value. So that is nothing but hydrogen gives highest calorific value among these 4 options. Next question reads, which calorimeter is used to find calorific values of solid and liquid fuels? So which type of calorimeter is used to find out calorific value of solid and liquid fuels? That is bomb calorimeter. So we have Junker's calorimeter is there to find out the calorific value of a gas. So for gases, Junker's calorimeter. Solids and liquids, bomb calorimeter. Moving on to the next question, which is the common method to relate higher calorific value to lower calorific value? Simply we can say that with the help of LCV, how we can find out HCV, higher calorific value. So its answer is higher calorific value equals to LCV plus H into V, and that is NH2O out by N fuel in. Let's see what is that. HV means heat evaporation of water. NH2O out means moles of water vaporized. Out means vaporization. N fuel in means number of moles of fuel combusted. So fuel, number of moles of fuel in means combusted. So higher calorific value is equal to lower calorific value plus product of heat of vaporization of water and moles of water vaporized by moles of fuel combusted. This we can say it as higher calorific value. Next question is, which calorific value is same as the thermodynamic heat of combustion? Which calorific value is same as the thermodynamic heat of combustion? That is nothing but fire point value. We know that flash point and fire point. So this is the fire point. Which formula is used to determine higher calorific value of fuel? So which kind of formula is used to determine higher calorific value of fuel? So that is Dulong's formula. C is the correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Lower calorific value can be determined by equation. The lower calorific value can be determined by HCV minus M into 2466. Let's see what is the lower calorific value. So lower calorific value can be determined by equation LCV equals to HCV minus M into 2466. The latent heat lost to the atmosphere depends on evaporation pressure and the amount of water vapors formed. Due to difficulty in measuring the evaporation pressure, it is assumed that evaporation takes place at a saturation temperature of 150 or 15 degrees centigrade. The latent heat corresponding to this saturation is 2466 kilojoules per kg. So M is mass of water vapor formed per kg of fuel burnt. So this is what the explanation about lower calorific value. Moving on to the 17th question, which fuel has higher calorific value among given fuels? If 4 fuels given like natural gas, gasoline, diesel, fuel oil. So out of these 4 options, which is having higher calorific value? That is gasoline. Next question reads, RSAT apparatus is used to. The options are, it gives flue gas analysis on dry basis and it determines end-to-end flue gas indirectly, and RSAT apparatus means it is a can, and the answer is all of the above. Yes, its answer is all of the above. It gives flue gas analysis on dry basis and it determines end-to-end flue gas indirectly. Next question is, which of the following furnace is best suitable for the efficient combustion of coal? Which of the following furnace is best suitable for the efficient combustion of coal? Because we have different furnaces. Here the boiler furnace is very much efficient to burn the coal. Next question reads, what happens when carbon monoxide is obtained in flue gas analysis? So what happens when carbon monoxide is obtained in flue gas analysis? Here combustion is incomplete. let's see, carbon monoxide is obtaining means, so combustion is not completed, so it is incomplete combustion process. So this is what about different flue gases. Thank you for watching this video. Do subscribe and share my videos. This is your Mahesh Dole.